Is s1mple cooking right now? Or more specifically, his org BC.Game? Because recently, the team has been making pretty big moves, signing s1mple's former right-hand man, Electronic, while also hinting at another major signing. While they very well could be engagement farming, given the majority of their other posts, there is a possibility that they are looking for a big name to support the once greatest of all time. But does that mean that BC.Game is looking to make a run at Tier 1? What would that actually look like with the right pieces? And ultimately, does s1mple even want that?
Before we get into today's story, I'd like to thank Cash App. Cash App isn't just changing the game when it comes to your personal finance, they're also sponsoring our newest season of The Story Of. With the Cash App card, you can design your own debit card, get exclusive discounts on everything from video games to coffee, and they don't bother you with anything annoying like monthly minimums or random fees. Cash App also makes sure that your money stays your money. No fee overdraft coverage up to $200 if you direct deposit at least $300 in paychecks each month and spend with your Cash App card. The bottom line here is that Cash App's got your back. Download Cash App today using the link in the description and get started. Now, let's get back into the video.
It's been almost 3 months since s1mple joined the esteemed ranks of BC.Game, and during that time, s1mple has been playing pretty damn well. Yes, his opponents are tier 2 and 3 and possibly cheating half the time, so it's not the type of competition he's historically been used to. But credit where it's due. Aside from the occasional bad match, he's been shitting on some of these teams.
Love this who's kills. Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. There it is. All right, s1mple. Time to shine. Bye. Bye, Felicia. Bye, Felicia. Bye, Felicia.
But is that it? Just random highlights every now and again? How long is s1mple going to have to style in AA before we see him back where he belongs? I mean, the man said himself that he's getting bored and is waiting for a real opponent to humble him. And not too long ago, Donk said that s1mple wasn't going to improve in Tier 2 unless he had a real teammate that was actually better than him to drive him forward. Well, Donk asks and he receives, because as it turns out, BC.Game might not be a stepping stone for s1mple after all, because on Saturday they announced that they were signing Electronic from the bench of VP. For those that don't know, during CSGO, Electronic and s1mple were for a period of time the best duo in the game by far, winning almost everything there is to win together. And honestly, there were times where Electronic was the only one in the server that could rival someone like s1mple. So now, like Donk suggested, s1mple might just have his superior teammate. Obviously, that doesn't mean instant success. Electronic wasn't having the best of times over on VP, and things didn't get off to the best start possible. After winning their first best of 1 at a qualifier for a LAN event in India, they went on to almost throw against a team I'm sure many of you have never heard of before. It did result in a pretty crazy comeback from Electronic and s1mple, but only for them to get knocked out by Big 2-0 in their next series. In fact, they got shit on.
Smokes bringing to connector to try and give a bit more cover to Big, but only a matter of time before the hit starts to come through. Swing out from Tabs and land s1mple. Electronic's good to trade it, but Grix follows him up on him.
Now Kakanito needs to strike, and he needs to try and drop that bomb, and he gets nothing.
It's all going to be on Nexa now. MP9 versus the world. One player in the back's taken down. JDC responds. Now the combination of Andu can't do much as JDC closes, and Big have qualified for Chennai, eliminating BC.Game in 2-0 fashion.
To be fair, it's the first event for both Electronic and s1mple, and as I said, they did very well in that comeback series. Just unfortunate they had to get humbled by a real opponent. However, if tweets are to be trusted, and believe me, on CS Twitter they are not, BC.Game isn't finished cooking just yet. It seems like they have ambitions to sign their way into the Tier 1 scene. So who's next? Well, obviously a lot of people have been wish casting Rain, and BC.Game even teased it, though once again, could just be bait. Rain would be a very interesting choice. Aside from his ability to steal maps away, even as a veteran player, he's always struck me as this calm presence that both s1mple and Electronic could definitely use. But at the same time, I don't really know if I see Rain doing this. There could be a Tier 1 team that wants him right now. Joining BC.Game would be one hell of a grind back to the top. That being said, I know Rain has a family, and that BC.Game bag is pretty big. Some also suspect that JL might have been on the list after BC.Game tweeted that one of their prospects asked for a dinner and a helicopter ride once a month with their wife in order to sign. And yeah, that had to be JL. As for who else, I've seen a lot of people speculating about Donk's former teammate, Zontix, which would be a great addition, but once again, they aren't going to immediately be in Tier 1 off of these signings, so anyone who joins has to be okay with being in the trenches for quite some time, with no certainty that they'll ever get out. And if that's what these players actually want, or if we want to be cynical, they're just here for the paycheck. Obviously, s1mple is at the center of that conversation. His hunger has been called into question a few times now, especially very recently. It was reported that last week, s1mple may have skipped out on a match to play Dota. According to outlet Hawk, s1mple sat out BC.Game's match against Eternal Fire at the Proving Ground Season 5 on October 11th. And while no official reason was given, they found out that he might have been playing Dota at the exact same time, which, while very f***ing funny, isn't the best look. There could be a million reasonable explanations for this happening. Electronic's former teammate, Flamus, stood in for s1mple, so it's possible that they were just testing out some lineups and gave the GOAT a break. But at the same time, s1mple has also been playing a ton more Dota than CS2, which is not nothing. It was true earlier this year, and despite being on a team now, he's playing like 3 times more Dota matches than he is Face-It matches. Now, once again, that could just mean nothing. The guy could truly be bored, or a billion other reasons. But when you're getting dusted by Big after signing Electronic, at some point, you're gonna need to lock in. My hope is that s1mple is waiting for his team to be complete. As much as I don't care for BC.Game, if this is where s1mple is going to play, then I want to see them have at least some success. But maybe the haters are right, and maybe he doesn't care anymore. Maybe he's lost that drive he once had more than anybody else. But honestly, to me, after seeing him at the Austin Major with Fahey and what that event meant to him, I just don't believe it's a possibility. Like, sure, he's playing Dota, maybe he's relaxed. I don't know, I want to make excuses for him, but it isn't the best look, right? But at the same time, I don't know, maybe he's just like, yeah, like when it's real, I'll lock in, but right now it's not real.